Here we go. Okay. I'm getting this to work. I'm trying to, at least. Finally, okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I didn't really prepare a opening thing because I was having issues starting it up. Okay, Tringa wants a speech, though. I love all people, all animals, and everything. That is my speech. Today I'm going to be going through the entirety of the Afton movie. I've got it pulled up here, but you guys can't really see it yet because it's black screen. I'm basically going to go through every bit of it, talk about cut content, challenges, like little Easter eggs and stuff in the series. I didn't totally prepare for this, but I'm just gonna go. Whatever. So, also, if you guys can ask questions in the chat, if I happen to see good ones, I will try to comment on them. And sorry, I was just checking my audio. If the audio is bad, let me know. Okay, so let's start, I guess. This is the credits. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay. So obviously we have an epilepsy warning. This isn't that interesting, but I decided to put this in because I kept getting sinned by Animation Sins for only having an epilepsy warning in the description. I was like, huh, I should fix that maybe. Will there be an Afton 2? I do not plan on that, unfortunately. I'm kind of Aftoned out for a little while. Okay. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet or anything. So as a bit of preface, this is the trailer that came out, I don't know exactly when this came out. It came out a couple months before the actual parts of the series. This was basically just to show off the characters and announce that there was going to be a whole series. And, a donation of 2, it's either euros or pounds from Shani Lads, thank you. So what's next after the Afton movie? Well, the next project is an Undertale video, and it should be coming out, like, this week, I think. We had to delay it a little. It was actually going to come out Tuesday, but we were having some issues with licensing and stuff, so we're working everything out. Thank you for the donation, though. So anyways, this was just to show off the main characters of this series by name, or at least what I would be referring to them as. This isn't exactly totally accurate to this is something people don't really get and have commented on a lot, but Afton is not necessarily meant to be 100% accurate to the FNAF lore. Not that we know what the FNAF lore really is anyways, but this is more of a semi-accurate version with more of my rendition as well thrown in there. So anyways, we'll just go through this. I thought it would be fun though to start off with this sort of really unsettling and creepy trailer, which I think it pretty much accomplished that. Afton, obviously. I was really bad at modeling at the time, so I actually just gave him shears as if he was like clipping the grass by hand or something, which is really dumb, but I didn't want to just give him a knife or anything off the bat. That wouldn't really kind of ruin it. Examination says they super chatted and it didn't show up. I owe him $2. Well, I'm sorry. Oh, another 99, I want to say cents, but it's not American currency. Hold on, am I stupid, or is cents American currency exclusive? Because I don't actually know. Okay, well, either way, thank you, Shani Lads, for the other donation. I couldn't find a name for this brother, so I just... Oops. Hold on, I'm doing a bad job at commentating right now. I couldn't find a name for this brother here, so I just decided to call him Alex Afton, which is, like, not accurate, I assume, and I got some flack for it, but I couldn't find a name, okay, guys? I swear. It just chose something random. Charlotte. I also couldn't find the last name for the Henry family, but Train Guy said it was supposedly Charlotte. I mean, Train Guy said the last name was supposedly Emily for Henry's family. And I don't know if that was correct, but that's where that came from. So if it's not, blame Train Guy. Oh, thank you, Faint Turnip, for the $5. No donation message except for A. Ayo. Alright. It's pounds and pence, not cents. Okay, thank you, Shani, for another £2. I'm sorry, I'm a dumb American. Okay, I don't know these things. Alright, thank you though. And this is where it really starts getting creepy. I chose some noises that are personally unsettling to me, such as, like, just a siren. I'm thinking of, like, a tornado siren and stuff like that. So, yeah. Boom. And that says Afton, and these colors are probably a little bit too vibrant for the tone, but it is what it is. Whoa, okay. Hello, everyone. What does he gotta say? Oh, $7 from X Noodle Plays. Lol, I can do better than Faint. It's not a competition, guys. You really don't need to donate to me at all. I meant to turn off super chats because I feel bad whenever I get a super chat, but I mean, thank you anyways. I still really appreciate the $7. Okay, well, I guess we will watch the sponsorship, even though this is not sponsored.
Everyone, it's me, Isaac. I'm out on the streets of the city trying to find people to talk to about this news broadcast.
Oh, so he's out on the streets of the city trying to find people to talk to about this news broadcast sponsor. Wait, what's the sponsor?
As sponsor, Hustle Castle.
Oh, Hustle Castle.
Today's weather is a warm 72 degrees.
Oh. Hey, who's that?
Come here.
Come here.
Hi?
Listen.
Did you say glisten?
Have you ever heard of the mobile game, Hustle Castle?
He did
No,
say
look,
glisten. That's kind of silly.
I'm already running behind.
No. You get to wear this crown if you talk with me about it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Another victim. What?
Caleb, in the studio?
How did he know I was gonna say that?
Thank you, Isaac. Hustle
Right.
Castle.
Well, I'm not, there's nothing really to, I know you guys aren't here for this, so I'll skip over it, but, okay. So, we now get into the first part of Afton, and this is honestly, I don't know if this is necessarily the agreed upon opinion, but this is my personal overall favorite part of Afton entertainment-wise. I think just the final product is very good and fun and well-directed. So, this came out in December of 2018, I believe, which is kind of weird to think that it was that long ago already, but this was my first Maya project, and it got really, really good receptions, which is great because we were able to go through the entire series then. So, anyway, right off the bat, this is a kind of poor set I built in Minecraft, because like I said, I wasn't really much for modeling. I don't know if anyone noticed this actually, but I ended up taking out, I had to do a ton of extra work and re-rendering of like old scenes to take out the credits shown at the beginning of each video for the movie, because I didn't want credits to re-show up in every part. It wouldn't make it feel as connected. So that was a little effort that I thought I should point out because I didn't want to feel like it wasn't worth it. This door, I don't know what happened, but as you can see, this door is really, just terrible. I don't know why it looks this way. Hey Isaac, I have a question. Me and my brother were wondering, have you ever played Minecraft? Well, yes. This is a Minecraft channel after all. I've played a lot of Minecraft in the past, but I actually play it less now than I did when I was younger. Just because I'm working so much on my Minecraft videos, ironically. This is one of my favorite scenes in the entire series because I just love... I love the effect here and I love the lighting here. It just looks so cool. But obviously, seizure warning, guys. This is not for the faint of eyes. One thing I'm pointing out now for later, it's like... Actually, you know what? It's such a minor detail, I don't even think it's worth pointing out. Why is... Oh my gosh, there's so many questions. What was your first impression of this? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I had all the impressions because I made it. Okay. These are... I should be pointing out stuff like... In fact, I need to go back because I forgot to even point this out. So, these children here all are... people from previous videos or just like, you know, my YouTubers. This is the main kid from Look at Me Now, if anyone remembers that video, which was a collab with Faint Turnip. This is Enchanted Mob, Seth, you know, except now he doesn't have this black jacket on his skin anymore, so it looks a little different. This is she was a skin used in a couple of previous videos, so I'm not really going to go over that. This is me, and this is Caleb, the other director on 3A Display. And I have, in these early parts of the series especially, a lot of YouTubers present as skins, just because it was easier. Anyways, and because I couldn't fit both Examinations in there, I have them right here. This is Examinations, this is Examination Micah, and this is Zach. So, that's the two Examinations here as well. Is that you getting killed? Yep, I basically killed myself in this. Person wanted me to ask you if there were any secrets, like Easter eggs? Yeah, I'm gonna try to point those out as we go. There's not very many, though, and they're kind of lame. I wish I could have done a little bit more in the Easter egg game. There's so many... Oh my gosh, the chat's moving so fast I can't answer all these questions. Okay, well anyways, I'll just try if any stick out. So, this is kind of a bummer scene because obviously the sister gets killed here, but I thought it would be, can you turn on your face? No, train guy. Sorry. I thought it would be cool to show this a little bit more vividly, just because no one had really done it. And not in a way that it's like super gross or anything, but it's just like uncomfortable, and it makes you feel like the death is a lot more impactful, I thought. He falls over because I needed an extra shot. The place closes, and I'm gonna I don't think he's watching. I'm gonna throw Enchanted Mob / Seth under the bus a little here because he actually did the lighting for this video and a little bit of cleanup. And originally this transition here, like, the kid stayed in the exact same position, so it like perfectly transitioned and it looked really nice. But when Seth was doing lighting in this scene, he actually moved the camera a little because he thought it could have looked better. And because he did that, this transition now looks like this. And, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. And I was going to actually fix it in the movie, but we didn't really have time to fix a lot of the issues I wanted to. It is what it is. Isaac, you have inspired my Minecraft Circus Baby Pizza World. Thank you. You're welcome. How do you animate? That is a loaded question. You just got to do a lot of practice, I guess. How long did all the animations take together? That is a long time. Over a year, I think. Well, yeah, I think it would have been an entire year, at least. It was a lot of work. Okay. I really enjoy this part of the video too. I think it's kind of contrasty, where it's both kind of scary and a little bit more cartoony isn't necessarily the right word, but it's interesting to see the nightmare animatronics like singing at him, for lack of better words. I don't know, I just think this part is neat. Other than this flashlight volumetric being like the completely wrong size. Oh. There is an Easter egg here. It's very hard to spot, but I put the letters 3A on, I'm gonna have to pause carefully here, hold on. Right here. You can barely see it. It says 3A on the shirt in the background, and it is really hard to see. And it's even worse on actual YouTube because compression, like, made it almost invisible, but there it is. This is the first Easter egg in the series. I just put 3A on this yellow shirt back here. Oh, something interesting is I actually made this whole set, which is weird for me because, like I said, I don't really do a lot of assets, but this was before we had anyone else really to do them, so I just created all the assets for this entire set here. And the pizzeria in this video too. Not the Circus Baby one, but the one with Fredbear in it. Isaacs, why are there Easter eggs? It's not even Easter, stupid. Alright, thank you, Trin Guy. This is this whole shot here is like something that was really cool in my head, and it still looked like about how I had wanted it to, but it is really it's really unfitting. It's like almost a silly thing like you'd see in a cartoon or something. But I still, you know, it's whatever. I wanted to hear kind of, this doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't even know if this is the reason. I believe, I think the theory used kind of for this video was sort of based on MatPat's videos at the time, and part of it said like the reason the nightmare animatronics had these stomach mouths was because of how basically Elizabeth here got eaten into baby's stomach or whatever. So I just thought that'd be interesting to include. Crown Pixel with $2. Really cool bendy video. Well, it's not quite, but thank you for the $2 anyways. Isaac, do you think you could show us the actual character rigs? Maybe. There's not a lot to see there. Can you stop pausing, please? We just want to watch, no offense. Well, I mean, if you want to just watch the video, I mean, you can just go on the channel probably, but I'm more just kind of commentating on the actual, like, bits and pieces of the whole series. I really don't have a lot to say about this fight here, I just think it's interesting. Oh, this is kind of stupid though. I don't even know if I should really bother talking about this, but this, I don't know what I was thinking here, honestly. This is, it's one of my, I think the shot looks cool, but I think it's such a dumb idea that he just jumps through the shelf in like slow motion. And then the fact that he, like, jumps up sideways, and then he's, like, way up here, and he lands like this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, guys. I've had a surprising amount of people comment about the stupid, as I like to call it, foot shelf, because it kind of looks like he's wearing it on, I can't get to the frame anymore. Kind of looks like he's wearing it on his feet, whatever. I don't know. I'm moving on. We're done. Anyways, gets grabbed by Nightmare, and as he dies in his dream, he wakes up in real life, which is accurate to my real life, because I always, whenever I die in a dream or something, I always just wake up all of a sudden, like, really horrified. What's your fave animation? Well, overall, this one. Well, actually, my favorite animation I've made is the one that's coming out this week, the Undertale one, but of the Afton series. And before the video that comes out this week, it would be this, Bringing Us Home. Isaac, who is your favorite FNAF character, game, and song? Oh, jeez, that's a lot of questions. FNAF character would probably be Springtrap. Game, well, I think Ultimate Custom Night is one of the most fun ones, honestly, but I never played actual FNAF all that much. And song, God, I can't think of it, but I know it. It's... I'll get back to you. I can't remember right at the moment. So this is the part where they goofed up pretty bad. And I actually just made this a silhouette here because I was like, I don't know how else I'm supposed to make him chomp on his head without it looking just super weird. So this was my solution. Can you turn it up? I will turn it up a little. Tell me if it's too loud after this. But yeah, the silhouette was just my way to get out of it, and I guess it worked well enough. I had to kind of keep his head off screen, and I'll comment in a second on a little trick I did here. So we see it from this angle, and his head is turned in this direction, but in the next shot I have the camera over here, so I had to switch his head facing towards him just so you couldn't see that, like, there's no damage to his forehead at all. And obviously the silhouette I used a number of times in this series for the same reason, so I hope people enjoyed them because they're a bit of a cheat. Why is the stretcher there? Someone would probably be thinking, and to that I do not have an answer, so I'm gonna ignore that. We have Andy BTTF here, Train Guy, and I wanted a female skin, but I didn't want to bother looking for one, so this is actually the exact same skin as this is the exact same skin as the girl earlier that was being lured into that room. I don't know if anyone remembers when I was talking about that girl who I just said was in a bunch of other animations. This is just her again. I'm sorry. I was too lazy. But Andy actually, he actually helped on this scene a little bit. He came in and kind of, he did the lighting for one, just because he was feeling nice and wanted to do some lighting, but he also animated the faces a little more and the characters, and that was good. I think the scene looks better now. Obviously, by this point, I was like, okay, I gotta show his forehead, so I decided I'd give him a bloody bandage and stuff, and whatever. The Void, this scene, I don't know how well I actually think it turned out, but what this is meant to be is the part in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 when he is like in the void or whatever, and then there's just all his stuffies with him there, and they're like, we're still your friends, as they disappear one by one. So that's what this was meant to be. And then he dies, and to be totally honest, I don't really like how this line sounded in the end, but I like the idea of this line. I think it's a cool tie into the games.
I will put you back together. Even if it's as a robot.
And I got some flack for it, but I don't care. Now we're going on to part 2, but before that, there was actually going to be a mid-scene between part 1 and 2, which was going to be like William Afton bringing home Michael, and then he would basically put his soul into a separate robot body. But I was like, I don't know how I'm going to show that and make it make sense, so... I mean, and we ran out of time on top of that, so it was just like, whatever. Who voiced that? His name is Kyoto Somo. Well, that's his alias. I assume that's not his real name, obviously. So moving on to part 2 now. For me personally, this is my least favorite part of the series. I think visually it's the worst one, and story-wise, directing-wise, it was the hardest to follow. Which is kind of a bummer because I think this was a very cool idea, but it is what it is. I still think it's pretty decent. So this is part 2. Oh, and you can see right off the bat here, up in the corner, it actually says 3A display upside down. And just so you guys know, when I said I wasn't really thinking these Easter eggs were very creative, that's just because they're basically all 3A display. Like, it just says 3A display somewhere. So that's a little lame, but it is what it is. And I'll comment more on the rest of this board later. But now we're in the lab. William, his thumb is glitching out. Or it's like a thumb mesh, it's not his actual thumb. I went too far back. I'm sorry. Just wait 1 second. There you go. His thumb on it, like this mesh here, is freaking out. I don't know why. Anyways. He basically here, he has the soul juice he's been getting, right? Or you'll see more of that in this video, but he's like getting it from the children he kills. So what's supposed to be happening is he's giving some to his son, so his son can live like forever, ideally. And he's also taking it himself because he wants to live forever. That's why he was killing even before his son was hurt. So, yeah. We go into Freddy Fazbear's Jr.'s. The puppet is blocked off, as you can see, because something bad is happening. He killed more children. This is once again... No. This is actually a kid from Foxy Song. From Zamination's Foxy Song video. He is killed and turned into Foxy. And I needed another kid skin, and they were just like, use this one. So I did. And obviously this is him extracting the soul right here. Please pay no attention to the terrifying screams. So I'm also going to be commentating more on this video just because I think it's hard to follow, like I said. Sorry, I'm trying to check the chat for questions. Didn't Chris die first? I don't know who Chris is in this series anyways. Okay. Are you Isaac? I'm confused. Yes, I am Isaac. Okay, so this machine here, what it's meant to do, and I didn't make this very clear, that's why I have so many issues with this video, but this is supposed to basically convert the soul into a drinkable, usable version that can actually turn, you know, like make you live forever or whatever. So that was the whole idea with the soul here. Or, I mean, with this machine here, and why he's putting the soul into the machine. Now he has more killing to do, because we need to move forward the plot. What I wanted to do, the reason he killed Charlotte, and once again, this is not the most clear thing in the world, but I was hoping... Hold on. Are you married? No, I am 17. I'm not old enough to be married yet. I wanted Charlotte to basically be... People are saying the volume is too low, but I wouldn't recommend turning it up much. Okay, I'll turn it up just a little more then. Okay. I want you guys to still be able to hear me if I want to talk over the video while it's playing. That's why I have it lower. But I wanted her to be basically like the strongest. She has the strongest soul. And that's why he basically just decided to kill her instead of, you know, just killing some other random children that aren't related to his work partner. And whether that was a good decision on his part or not is up to you, but I would say it probably wasn't. Do you have a girlfriend? No. not at the moment, unfortunately, but it's fine. Okay. So he barges in, and his thumb thing is glitching out again, but whatever. This paper here, this is really stupid, but we have been using this, or I've been using this paper mesh in like every single video, every FNAF video I could fit it in. Not because it looks good, it looks terrible, it's just two cubes put together. But it always makes me laugh, because I always get people talking about it, and I just think that's really funny. So, anyways, Charlotte goes with him. She just barely starts to notice that the puppet is blocked into the box, and then suddenly grabs her and chucks her outside into the rain, and yeah, it's just, this is what happens. The faces aren't the best in this video, I know, but, I think you can still basically tell what they're thinking. You know, she's thinking, I'm in trouble and I'm gonna die. I hope not, though. Come on, when is this guy gonna stop talking? I'm sorry, but I'm not. It's commentary. Am I gay? I'm not gay, but thank you for asking. Puppet is still trying to get out to save Charlotte, and sad things happen. Finally, the puppet breaks out, going to save him. Obviously, the puppet, I wanted to make the puppet look less tormented at this point, and more accurate to the, like, FNAF 6 minigame. So, green eyes and no tears at this point. Charlotte is dead. This is my own fault because I forgot to tell them to, like, really go all out on the effects, but this is supposed to be, like, super extra bright, on the syringe. So then it would be like, that was supposed to be my way of showing, like, wow, she has a really pure soul. Unfortunately, it just looks kind of the same, but that's okay. You guys know now, right? Have you a girlfriend? Nope, I still don't in the last 2 minutes. Oops. I like this shot a lot. The soul possesses, basically, Puppet, and as it does, the green goes away, just turns to a blank white, and tears stream down the face as the puppet becomes possessed. Have you played FNAF VR? I have. I actually didn't think it was as scary as people had said, though. But I mean, it was still pretty fun, to be honest. Have you ever have a girlfriend? No, I do not. I have not. I'm just single. Okay, I've been single. But I don't know if you guys are trying to attack me or not, but I'm okay. I can handle it. How did you get the name 3 Display? Well, 3... Okay, so there's Enchanted Mob, me, and there was Faint Turnip when we first started the channel. So it was 3 animators, and then it was, you know, our display. That's the basic answer. Are you secretly a girl? No, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think I am. Do you want to be my boyfriend? I'm okay. If you guys are really... Are you guys just gonna keep asking about that? I was hoping more for questions about, you know, the Afton series, you know? I kind of wish I hadn't shown this at all, because it's, like, neat to see... It's supposed to be a callback, you know, or whatever, seeing the animatronics get possessed, the new ones, but at the same time, This is literally the only time in the entirety of the video the toy animatronics show up. They're not present anywhere after this. So that's a little silly. This Mangle model is very glitchy. I'm not going to show you everything specifically right now, but if you would like go back and watch the video, watch Mangle's legs and they will like kind of snap into place because they're so broken. I rigged that, so it's my fault, but how did you animate the soul particles? Well, I just had them emitting from a sphere, which is... Hold on. For some reason, the spheres are like invisible in the... Let me on the shot, please. This shot here, the spheres are invisible. Oh no, they're not. They're just like stuck in there. But they're all emitting particles really fast, and then I have a turbulence field making the particles kind of all wavy and stuff. That's Space Cancer anyways. So this is the machine finally processing the soul and putting it through, and it becomes this purple stuff, which was also supposed to be glowing pretty bright, but we kind of messed that up, which is, again, not that big of a deal. So he just drinks it, and that is supposed to basically make him live forever, is the idea behind it. So this is kind of his board showing he's kind of going a little crazy. I mean, he knows what he's doing, obviously. He's smart enough to create robots and a soul processing machine, but there's a new son here, these 5 children, there's, you know, what the soul does, a lot of F's, help, and, you know, just a lot of scribbles and even some blood from, well, who knows? It's up to you to guess. We'll see you here tomorrow night and do it all again. The mass that we wear. So Henry is obviously torn apart because his daughter has gone missing, and the way we're just supposed to kind of assume he knows that William did it because, you know, she went off with William and then she was dead in the alley right outside, so it was kind of just like, yeah, he probably did it. What's the hardest animation you've ever done? 100% it was Afton Part 6. That was a challenge, and I'll talk about that when we get there. So he's like, I'm gonna kill you too because I don't want you to talk. I kind of wish I could have better explained the motivations here because I think it's a little silly, but, you know. The puppet sees Henry and is like, I don't think people understood this necessarily, but Henry runs by, the puppet reaches out to him because, you know, the puppet is his daughter, but then the puppet sees William, who killed her, and she wants to get revenge and stop him and save her father. So this is supposed to be from Mangle's point of view. This outline really shouldn't be showing up. But, so it's first tracking onto William, but William runs into this crowd. Mangle can't locate him, and instead tracks onto this security guard and thinks it's William Afton because bad programming. And, ooh, $5 donation from Crown Pixel. I like how the stream is about Afton, yet the questions are like, Isex, do you have a girlfriend? Isex, are you gay? Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't have answered the first one. This is my own fault. But thank you for the $5, Crown Pixel. Was Henry already keen on William's suspicious behavior, or was he caught by surprise that William was the one who did it? I like to think he didn't really know about it because, you know, he let his daughter wander off with him, and he probably wouldn't have done that if, you know, he didn't trust him. They had no reason really not to trust each other. They were business partners, but obviously now he has a reason not to trust him. So these two are still trying to escape. There are a ton of skins in here. I don't even know if I can go over them all, but I'll try. I forgot almost. Let me see. Hold on. There's someone over here. I don't know who it is, though. I can't see. This is the main child from Look at Me Now again. This is Seth from Channel Mob again. Examination Zach. The girl who was in the hospital and who got killed. Mangarang, Achebe. Okay, I'm just gonna keep looking. I'll try and do. Oh gosh, I don't even know who all these people are. It's Mangarang, Achebe, Isaac's, the girl. Examination with eyelashes? Wait, what? Is this? There's a. I think I left eyelashes on. I think I messed up. Okay, you know what? We're moving on. Slow-mo shot because I thought it looked pretty cool. And rips out his frontal lobe. Bite of 87. I didn't know if that was clear, but that's what happens. And then Mango realizes that was not Purple Guy. / William Afton. I show up in a police uniform, and so does Examination. And I left the SSS super high, which is subsurface scattering. And it's basically like light passing through skin. So it makes our skins look like really strange, but yeah. The puppet hides. I don't know. I gave the puppet powers here, and I never came back to it, so I kind of regret that. That would have been cool. But I mean, this is just. I lit this video, and I did not do a very good job because this was my first time Maya lighting, and I didn't really have a lot of help. So I've gotten better at lighting than this, I promise. Even though I haven't really done too much lighting. Are you proud of yourself? Sometimes. Anyways, I was trying to say here that the puppet... Ugh, it's so hard to skim through here. The puppet suddenly has the powers of the Force because I thought I was gonna come back to it in a future video, but I didn't end up doing that. That's my mistake. Well, I thought it kind of fit since the puppet can, like, float. That they might have, like, Force powers. I remember now. That's why I kind of did it initially, but... I should have just used it more. That could have made for a whole cool fight sequence, you know? The puppet hides, and the security guard basically tases Mangle. And then these two fight. You know, Henry uses his magical moves. And, hey, Isaacs, who would you rather be friends with, Charlotte or William Afton? Probably Charlotte. I wouldn't really want to be friends with William Afton. Anyway, he uses his magical, awesome karate. I don't know, not karate. That is horrible and offensive almost. Just really awesome fighting skills to disarm him and then kind of beat him up a little before William shows that... This is, again, another thing I didn't expand on, and I'm kind of sad I didn't, but William Afton was supposed to also be getting, like, stronger from the soul stuff he was drinking. So it was going to be like he has almost a little bit of super strength here, which is why he's able to just grab his fist, twist it around, and then just launch him into the car. But I did not go through with explaining that whole thing. Henry gets away. The place is closed because there were murders and the bite of 87. May you mod me, please, thanks. Wait, okay, who's on Examination and who's on Examination 2 right now? So wait, does the soul juice make him strong or live forever? It does both, I guess. That's what I had in mind, at least. Okay. Who do you think would win in a fight, Springtrap or Golden Freddy? I mean, I don't really know. I guess Springtrap's pretty strong, so... They take him away. He's a killer. And finally, the sun wakes up. Micah is regular Examination, Zach is Examination 2. Okay, got it. So anyways, he wakes up. You can see here, I was hoping nobody noticed this because I didn't even notice till after, but like, the bandage is super fat in the back because I just used like a cube and just put it on his head. So you can actually see in the back, the bandage is just like really thick, and it looks really stupid. But anyways, he wakes up, and that was a good cliffhanger. One thing I will say is I kind of wish I had switched around parts 3 and 4 before we go into part 3 and stuff, because I think it would have flown better that way, but I almost switched them around for the movie, which is kind of interesting. And this is where we're going to talk about for a moment. We're going to pause for a little while, a few minutes, to talk about the big cut content thing that almost happened, but I thought about it a little bit too late and decided not to do it. There was going to possibly be a part in between parts 2 and 3, which was going to be... It was going to cover a few things. So it was going to be similar to Dream Your Dream by Enchanted Mob. For a lack of better terms, where it would kind of show like Henry going a little bit crazy and maybe even kind of creating Lefty. And I also wanted to show Alex Afton sort of like losing his mind after he killed his brother. So it's just kind of everybody suffering at this point. William Afton goes to jail, and I was probably going to show... there was some other third thread I needed to cover, but I can't think of it right at the moment. But for sure it was going to show Henry just kind of going mad, and Alex Afton, the older brother who killed Michael, or almost killed Michael, you know. Or he did kill Michael, yeah. Who put his brother's head in the Fredbear thing, you know, that Alex Afton. He was going to go crazy, and it would show what happened to him and why he's not in the rest of the series, but I never really, unfortunately, thought of a final answer, whether he maybe would commit suicide because, you know, it was such a traumatic experience, or just leave and go crazy. I don't know. I never decided, but that was almost going to be a part 7 kind of thing. Not part 7 as in it would come after part 6, but just like it would have been another part making this a 7-part series. I wanted to use a song like Balloons by Man No Pony if I did it, but we couldn't actually get that song even if I wanted to. Anyways, I will move on now. So, this is the first mid-scene which was added in the movie. Thank you to Zamination Zachary. He did the sound effects for these mid-scenes, and he did a pretty bang-up job. And I know he wants the credit, so go thank him or whatever. Let me look at some questions first. Which video are you the most proud of? Probably part 1 or part 6. Now at least. Any other questions that are very interesting? Will you make Roblox animations? I do not plan to. Okay, anyways, we will keep going. I just wanted to talk about that video that I never ended up making. Okay, so this mid-scene was a result exclusively of the backlash I received in part 3 regarding the bomb. I got a lot of crap for, why can't I think right now? For William just pulling a bomb out from under the table, and people were like, what is that? How can he do that? So I was like, I should really clarify a little how that happened. And so obviously the solution is he built it in jail using just anything he could find. And he hides it underneath a loose tile. So he just walks, picks up a thing, and yeah. It's not too much to say about this now. Hi, Sax. I'll play now and then talk. Okay. You know what? I have a lot of commentary to do. When I say I play now, it doesn't mean I'm actually going to play the video. It just means I'm going to talk more, probably. Okay. Builds the bomb and hides it. And so that is why in part 3 he just goes into the table and pulls out the bomb. He just quickly lifts up the tile and pulls it out is what I thought happened. That's what I meant for the video to imply. Hold on. I know I said this once before, but I'm really intrigued to know the answer to this, since we know what 3A display means. On what animations, if any, did you work with people like Zamination? That is kind of a long answer. We worked with a lot of people throughout the series. Zamination did work, like I said, on the mid-scenes here. Enchanted Mob lit all of Afton Part 1, and provided a lot of assets for the series. I don't know. It was kind of Enchanted Mob and Zamination both helped because they both kind of help on 3 display when they need to. They did the thumbnails for, or Examination, Micah helped edit the thumbnails for parts 4, 5, and 6 of Afton alongside of the movie. So, yeah, that would be their involvement, I guess. The short version of their involvement with the Afton series. I thought it would be cool to do this song at some point in the series, just as like a throwback to the whole thing. And I should note, the original Afton series, I didn't prepare. I forgot I was going to even talk about this, and now I'm like, I don't know if I will, but the original Afton series was still going to go through all 6 games and still be 6 parts, but there was a totally different storyline using like an old game theory lore thing they had, which in that version, instead of following the younger brother and the dad, it was following the older brother. Because at the beginning of the series, the older brother kills the younger brother, you know, with Fredbear. And after that, his brother is, like, trapped in Golden Freddy / Fredbear. And so he decides, basically, to go and he needs to save his brother and save all these other people his dad killed. And that's what the series was going to be about instead, is the older brother trying to save his, you know, his family. And this kind of has a similar dynamic in some ways, where Michael is trying to save his younger sister more than anyone. But, you know, it's not the same because he didn't kill his younger sister. He's like trying to kind of undo his dad's work. And that's his main goal. But we're not really into the Michael arc yet. We're more still on the William part. William still wants to see his son. He never got to see him wake up. So he figures he needs to break out of here. And he also wants to just put an end to the living animatronics because they obviously have caused him a lot of issues in the last part. The puppet and Mangle attacked him. He just wants to basically put an end to them. So yeah, pulls out the bomb explodes, boom. It's cool, I like it. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, I do. Okay, it's a little far-fetched, I'll admit, but I still think it's neat enough, okay? How often do you see somebody do something like this? It's a bomb. He escapes. Caleb shows up here. Once again, Nivelis Studio, Caleb. And, yep. Basically hijacks the police car. This is... Okay, this is far-fetched. Yes, I understand this video is far-fetched, but I don't have an excuse, and I just want everyone to get off my back. I don't know, okay? I didn't think about everything. I was not as smart. He breaks it open with a crowbar. He decides he's gonna go get rid of these other animatronics first. Freddy wakes up and they basically all wake up, but I wanted to make them wake up one by one so it could be more like the cutscene from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. And then obviously he tears them apart. When they all wake up, they disappear one by one. Why does he want to destroy the robots? He just, well, he kind of wants to free the souls somewhat. But more than anything, it's more like they were problematic to him. The puppet and Mangle were particularly issues for him in part 2 when they tried to kill him with Mangle. So he's just dealing with it. So, Golden Freddy gets destroyed and the soul comes out instantaneously. Not really destroyed. I was like, are people gonna wonder because this is really not enough to destroy the suit and there's no reason for that shelf to fall necessarily, but, you know, Golden Freddy is more of a suit than an animatronic, so I thought it was probably okay. Yeah. Soul's free. Do you like scrambled eggs? Someone said. Not particularly, to be honest. Kind of a picky eater. So this soul finds all the other ones, and for plot convenience, to be totally honest with you, this is the point in which all the other souls pop out. Caleb actually animated this part. Caleb Nivalis Studio. This was the first time I had someone else doing animation on my video. And he did a really good job. He was good at doing the cartoony motions of the souls, which is not something I was very experienced in. So they all go into this room, he follows, and Purple Guy's here, and they confront him, and he sort of has like a hallucination where he's remembering them all as the way they were originally, which is... Okay, guys, I have to state the obvious. These are not the same 5 kids that we saw in the original video. Okay, these are different that we saw in Afton Part 1. If we go back, wow, I almost got it perfectly. We've got these 5 kids, but then when we go here, only like 2 of them are the same. These 2 are the same, but now we also have the Foxy Song kid and these 2 people, and I'm sorry, guys. I didn't think it through. I didn't want to just put more YouTubers in. I thought it would like take the viewer out of it, so I just decided I'd change the skins. I'm sorry. Are you Thanos? No, I don't think so. I wish I was. Thanos is pretty cool. Well, I don't totally wish I was Thanos. He's kind of a bad guy too. So they start attacking him because he tries to kill him again, and they're like, wow, he's the same. But he's like, I will hide in this suit and be totally safe from them, which is not my logic, it is the game's logic, so yeah. But seeing this, they decide they will trigger the suit using water. So they pop open the ceiling, a little bit of drizzle falls in, like rain. And one drop hits his suit, is glowing for unknown reasons, activates it, and that is where the gore starts. They pop into his head, blood comes out, his eyes turn red and veiny, there's blood, he's like crying blood, it's horrible. I don't know, I just wanted to make this more dramatic, and I think I did. And they all slowly screw into him, basically, and it's not good. Then the ceilings open up, as it does for these souls in the series, and they get to go free. And, yeah. This is, I forgot to point out, but this is actually the second kind of soul we see in this series. The first one we saw, was just the white ball with the particles, and then I was like, that wouldn't work as well for this video, so I need souls that look more like this. So these are the 2 types of souls, and there's actually a third one in part 6, but we'll get there when we get there. And they fly out, they fly into the sky, and pew! They go to heaven, is what's supposed to be happening here. And yeah, happy ending for them. Not for William so much, and the puppet is still wandering. So that's part 3. Part 3, I forgot to mention, is, because I've been saying where each part stands, while part 1 is my favorite and part 2 is my least favorite, this one is probably, unfortunately, my second least favorite. I do enjoy the video, but there's so many plot inconsistencies here that I wish I had better explained. So that's part 3. That is number 5 for me out of the 6 videos. 5th place. And we get to this mid-scene where it's just Michael basically waking up and whacking up really fast. Everyone was asking how he got into the house And the true answer is that this lab is supposed to be the basement, not a separate building. So this is him basically just going upstairs to the house. And here he enters into part 4 of Afton, which is my third favorite part in the series, I would say. It's behind part 1 still. I like the tone of this video. It's very different from the very action-paced and very action-oriented feeling of the other ones. So I like this part a lot, being slower, even if there's some glaring issues with it. But this is the Afton house the first time we see it.
Down the rabbit hole, we saw you come in through the glass of our
Channel
cages
8's news with a kind of inconsistent look to the rest of the video, and this here says 3A display in the best way I could see to write it, and then 9512 for Train Guy 9512 because I needed more characters, so I just decided to put Train Guy on there. If he's still here at the stream, you made an appearance, Train, in a weird way. It says over 10 counts of first-degree murder in children, because I don't know how to grammar, and I have gotten so much crap for that I don't even want to hear it anymore. From examinations exclusively.
we live. Please don't be afraid, we're a little bit.
And then this is, I'm gonna have to tune out now, gonna work on the Q&A. Good luck with the stream. Thank you for tuning in, examination. Micah, I guess. I don't know if Zachary's still here. This render of Circus Baby is all the way back from Blender. Like, this is a Blender render, and I'm really embarrassed to say that, but I was too lazy once again to make a new render. Why was the TV randomly on, though? It was on. I feel like it was just on the whole time, like it was never just turned off. But why it's black in some other shots is because I did not think it through. Sorry. What do you think about animation sins? I don't mind it. I don't mind if they do my videos. So I'm looking for other questions. How can Michael get a job? He's like 9. Okay. Oh yeah, that's something I should mention. So people were like, how isn't he still just a little kid? Well, when he gets transferred into the robot body, he's transferred into like an adult, basically. Even though he looks more or less the same, and that's my fault. But he is the size of a normal human now. He's not shrunk down like the kids are. He is normal size, just kind of hard to tell because there's nothing to really reference it to. But he is now, he's basically an 18-year-old because his body is 18, so he can get a job.
A little bit, broken souls looking for a way to start again.
So he sees his family picture, Elizabeth, Alex, William, and himself, and he's like, man, William tore us apart, and my brother by killing me, but I'm alive now, and I need to go check out what my dad's been doing, because he got arrested for murder, and he owns Circus Baby's Pizza World, so I'm gonna go work there, and that's his thought process here. What souls possess the sister location animatronics excluding Baby? There's really not. I didn't include that just because there's no important answer. It's just like other kids, you know. That's really the only answer I have.
How can we ever be free?
Takes off the bandage and is now wearing the classic purple guy suit. Where is William's wife? I don't know where she is. She's just really not included in this story. They could be divorced. She could be dead. Who knows?
Prison is skin deep, left to rise underneath, buried us down below so no one sees.
So him coming down wakes up all the other animatronics as the elevator enters. And Baby is interesting because she does recognize him, but she doesn't recognize him as her brother. she recognizes him as someone else, as her dad specifically, and she has bad feelings about her dad because obviously he killed all the other kids. She would know that. She lives with these other dead kids. I like to think that these other animatronics can still communicate with each other. So she has bad feelings towards her dad, and because William Afton and Michael Afton look so similar, she just assumes this is William.
Daddy's little monster. Listen to the voice keeping you alive. You need us, we need
So
you,
he is
and
finally
we'll be
seeing
alright.
what his dad has been up to, and obviously this is pretty horrifying for him to see and weird. And it is at this point that he understands that Circus Baby is his sister now. Elizabeth isn't Baby, but the thing is, in my story at least, when the kids go into these animatronics, they're not like the kids anymore. They're crazy. They can't control themselves. You know, they just kind of want to kill. So that is why they are always so aggressive towards the human characters in general. Unless it's a character they're very much... well, no, that's not even true. They just kind of attack all the time. What's your favorite Afton part? Afton part 1.
Under lock and key, you can help break the curse. We all wanna.
So, he knows that this is his sister, but his sister doesn't know that it's him. She's just kind of playing along to lure him in, basically, because she needs a body, along with the other animatronics, to get to the surface. And once she gets him,
How can we
she lets in some gas and keeps him distracted for a while.
when a prison is skin deep, left to rise underneath? There
So obviously this is a hallucination. While this is happening, the other animatronics are off becoming Ennard. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. So they're off becoming Ennard, and this whole sequence happens. In an original version, when the gas gets let in, I actually had, like, the Nightmare animatronics make another appearance, because I thought that might be cool, but I decided, it would be more interesting to bring in kind of just a flashback to his sister, since that's kind of related to what's going on right now with his sister being there. You are not convincing me that William has replaced some of the steps used in Bring Us Home. It had like 5 through 6. This only has 3. Where did they go? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. The board is just like a simplified version of how he's doing what he's doing.
is down below, so no one
So this is a flashback. The other kids show up and he feels responsible for his sister's death because he saw her first, and instead of going up to save her, he just got his dad, and he failed, obviously, and he's a killer. So he feels like he could have saved her, and that's why watching her die again is so traumatic for him.
Daddy's little monster.
And as he's going to save her now, Fredbear is traumatizing him too. He has a lot of just trauma in his life. And yeah, he realizes he's got to get out of here, and he finally gets out of the gas room into the scooper room.
Could only shed our shells, wear a mask and escape these cells. On the surface,
So Ennard kind of comes out of them
we
and
could
forms together
live
in a dramatic
just
fashion.
like you. It's time for us to
Ennard lifts him up and will knock him out in a second here.
for a little bit. You will stay and we get to leave. Thanks to
And it's really unfortunate, actually, that this whole thing is happening, because while they don't realize it, his goal is to free them. If he could free them, he would, but they don't know that, so they're just trying to free themselves right now by using him as a skin puppet, basically. Because they think he's, he's a bad guy.
now everyone will see.
silhouette again. And blood splatters on the door because his insides have just been scooped out.
Daddy's little monster.
I was noticing because Michael had not smiled a single time in this whole series because like he's just everything bad is happening to him. So when I was making him smile, I'm like, it would be really interesting, especially now that he's like a skin puppet, to make it like look as unsettling as possible, which is why it's like this long, awkward, weird smile that nobody really looks like that when they are actually happy. It's just freaky.
Daddy's little monster.
And by this point, they quickly realize this is not going to work as well as they think. The body is starting to reject them very quickly. They were able to get out of the underground pretty safely, but now things are going badly.
Daddy's little monster. Daddy's little monster.
And he throws it up. I was told... the first time something like this happened was back in Welcome Back, which is a video I made a couple years ago, and it looked terrible. So I was told, you know, if you're doing this again, you better make it look good this time, and I think I succeeded because this is pretty disgusting. So he falls down, and part of him falls off, this part being Scrap Baby, obviously, so she can come back later and be separate. He wakes up, looks down, and by this time Ennard has gone. So he realizes, I've messed up, and now they're gone again. They've escaped me. And now we go into the next mid-scene. This mid-scene was kind of a failure because it's very poorly... The story is told very poorly here. Like, I thought I could have done it better than I did, but I ran out of time and wasn't able to really execute it the way I wanted to. But anyways, let's take a look. So while he's sitting here just torn apart because he lost his family again, they got away from him. Henry sees him and, like everyone else, initially confuses him for William, and is so torn apart he's ready to kill him, which is the type of thing we would have seen happening in that parts between parts 2 and 3, you know, the one where I said Henry would be going like crazy. This is the kind of emotions we would have seen from him, like almost a little bit murderous. And at first, at least. So he's thinking, this is William. Till Michael looks up and he realizes that is not William. That is William's son. And so at this point he's like, I'm not going to kill him. He didn't do it. It wasn't his fault. And he already felt... He should have already felt bad about trying to kill him. So at this point he's like, I don't want to make a mistake like this. I need to find a different way to save everyone. But he's not really sure how, so he just kind of goes away for a long time. 30 years later. Now we... Oh, I did not mean to let the music start. That was horrible. Hold on. So we go into Afton Part 5, which is my 4th favorite part in the series, but I still enjoy this one. I like the action a lot in this video. It's very intensive and fun, for lack of better words. I guess fun is really not the describing one when it's trying to kill people, but whatever. So I don't have too much to say about this. It is below Part 4 and ahead of parts 3 and 2. So here we go. Obviously, Springtrap wakes up in the same room. He looks different now because he's been eroding and decaying. And his body is a different shape because it's a different shape. And that's the answer. this guy comes in who is... This is the Freddy skin, yes. This is the skin of the kid who dies in... let's go back here. We were just on the shot a second ago. This is him, the kid who was supposed to represent Freddy or something. And I'm sorry about that. Okay. Oops, too far. Yeah, so obviously it's just another culprit of me reusing skins a bunch though. So that's the point I was trying to make there. I know I'm speaking slow. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. I'm tired. So this is Lefty, which is technically created by Henry to capture the puppet, but in this version I just had it more like the puppet finds it as sort of a protective suit, and so the puppet just climbs inside of it for safety, because you can see the puppet's body is kind of decaying. It needs a stronger thing to be inside of. And then we get Scrap Baby, who we saw at the end of part 4 floating away in the sewer, and now after all these years she has built herself a bigger, like, strong body as well. Molten Freddy's head is here, and just to be found by, or mask I should say, to be found by Ennard, who is obviously Molten Freddy. So Ennard puts this on and becomes Molten Freddy. He is watching You Can Find It, because I didn't want to put another FNAF video on the screen, but I needed something to put up there. So this is that's what he's watching. I'm sorry. And I wanted to give him a different shirt because I thought it would be like too artificial feeling if he's just still sitting in the same suit 30 years later. It would be like weird. But Fazbear Fright, he knows that the Fazbear brand is, you know, all these trapped people, and they need a security guard. 03AD, 3 a display. There's another Easter egg for you. What else? Oh yeah, he is younger. He still looks the same age, basically, as he did in the last video, and that is because, you know, William Afton filled him with remnants, aka the soul juice stuff, which makes him not able to really properly age. Because he's a very advanced robot where he would be able to age otherwise, but he does not because of this. That's the best way I can put it. So the only thing that can kill, as some people who follow the lore closely would know, the only thing that can really kill the soul juice or remnants and make, you know, people with that stuff inside of them die is fire/heat, which is a bit of a teaser or foreshadowing. So he sees the security guard thing and he's like, this is another chance to make things right. And these are just the phantoms. I thought this shot was cool, not that it really holds a lot of significance. You got Freddy, Foxy, and Chica. The only other one was Balloon Boy, and I haven't included Balloon Boy in a FNAF video to this point, and I did not intend to now. So we have me, once again. This is actually, I thought it would be fun. If you remember back in part 2, it was me and Examination as security guards when we were like the people who tased Mangle, and I thought it would be fun to do that again. So once again it is me and Michael as security guards, except this time we're having to deal with Springtrap. Did I say Michael? I just realized I meant Micah, like Examination Micah. I'm not sure if I don't know if I made that clear. Anyway, Springtrap wakes up here and attacks because he is bloodthirsty. Instantly shoves me in a locker and Examination tries to kind of punch here, but Springtrap is just way too strong, and he locks him in a locker as well. And then he takes a nap. Meanwhile, Michael finally shows up and wants to save people. So instantly we see here... Oh, I guess I lied earlier when I said the toy animatronics were not present ever again, because these are the heads of the toy animatronics and Mangle. So we know these all have souls in them, which he finds out in a second here when they start glowing. So he's like, okay, well, you know, baby isn't here or anything, my sister or whatever, but I can free these souls. And the best way to do that is with fire from... Hold on. I messed that up. Fire from a lighter combined with gas, like a flammable gas. That's why he's gonna break these pipes and then lights the thing. And this is, you know, him thinking like, oh, okay, the fire, that'll do it. So he grabs a crowbar and starts moving to kind of scan the rest of the place, see if there's anything else he should really be aware of.
We know what you did. We know what you did.
This cool shot happens where there's a ventilation error shown, which means we're probably gonna get some phantoms showing up.
We're all here just for you. Get in a cage.
And so he's like, okay, now I'm scared. I'm just gonna do this right now. I'm gonna break this and let's get started. But the phantoms pop out, and now he has to deal with this too. Which, none of this is really happening, but his just, you know, his mind's kind of all messed up right now, so he can't really think straight. Springtrap shows up as soon as the ventilation is reset. This is real, and you see that because he actually interacts with the wall and punches it. So he grabs the crowbar, he has the lighter, and he goes into a different room. There's an exit behind him, and there's pipes all around him. So he's like, this is the perfect room to get it done. I have not been answering any questions, by the way. I should answer those. Isaac, there was a lot of crowbars. Is there a chance you played the game Half-Life? I did, but it is not related to that. I played Half-Life after I made the entire Afton series, actually. Why did William Afton try to kill Michael in the first place? Because he does not know it's him, really. Like I said, they don't really recognize who people are. So even though he loves his son and was even trying to save him in previous parts, he's just crazy now. All he wants is to kill. And he realizes this is the best chance I'm gonna get to set this place ablaze. And Springtrap here is, I mean, I should have moved him, I admit. He should have done something other than just sitting there like this, but more than anything, it's just supposed to be like, he's so surprised, he doesn't know what to do. This guy's just suddenly destroying everything. It's just weird. So, he doesn't really understand what's about to happen. And that's pretty cool. So the explosion is so powerful it actually shoots him outside of the building, which is very lucky for him because if he was in there, the remnant would have melted. As I said, fire kills it, and he would have died. But luckily he got out of the building, so he's okay. Springtrap was in there, but not long enough to burn the remnant off. So he more just burns sort of into Scrap Trap, which is obviously just like the more torn apart version of Springtrap. And these souls finally get out, the ones of Mangle and the toy animatronics, and I'm pausing a lot, I'm sorry. I just have a lot to say. So he sees William and says, I'm gonna follow him. And we go into the next end scene before part 6, the final part. So this is basically there are 4 animatronics left at all, and that is Springtrap, Molten Freddy, Scrap Baby, and Lefty. And at this point, they all see him because they're all kind of in alleyways and around here. They all see him and they all follow him. And when he opens up the pizzeria is when they all show up. So this is just them kind of tracking to him. They're just watching from, you know, in the alleyway. And this is because I didn't have time to make a separate, like, brand new version of this, so I just used, you know, the thing from the actual games. But I like this scene. I like how they're all just watching him. It's very creepy and ominous. And then he opens up his own pizzeria, and that is how we finish things. So Afton Part 6 is apparently the fan favorite one, which is good, I guess, because it's the finale. So, I mean, I'm glad if everyone likes that one the most. To me, this is my second favorite part. Most of the video is like, you know, it's fine. I like it enough. Gotta head out. See ya. Okay, see ya, Fainter. But then this video, like the whole fight scene at the end with Scraptrap / William Afton / his dad or whatever. And then the end of the... I'll just say when we get there, but that is my favorite part of the whole series. So, yeah. But as a whole, this video is my second favorite part in the series. Oh, and I should mention, at the time of, like, in this video, Michael did not recognize Springtrap as being his father. He did not realize it was him yet. So that's why he wasn't, like... acting particularly surprised. He was just like, oh, it's another living animatronic. So Henry has been following him, preparing for the time, basically like preparing for the time he could set all them free too. They have the same goal, even though they don't really know each other or trying to do anything right now. Yeah, because he wants to set his daughter free, and Michael wants to set his sister free.
You set the stage all by yourself. You have a job. You do it well.
And the whole motivation for opening this place is basically he figures these animatronics just seem to be attracted to these Five Nights at Freddy's pizzerias, so if he starts one of his own, he can probably lure them in. And, I mean, he was right, though they were still following him either way.
And play your part to host their final farewell. And even just like the first.
Oh, I should actually comment on that, because that's kind of complicated. So, this here is showing the, like, current version, and then previous versions of the animatronics. So, like, the current version, Molten Freddy, but he was Ennard, and before Ennard, he was these 3 animatronics. Baby is, you know, a Scrap Baby or whatever. Before that, it was just regular Baby, and before that, it was Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is Scrap Baby. This is my way of, reminding everyone who is in what animatronic. So, Lefty... is here, and the puppet's inside of Lefty, and Charlotte is the puppet and Lefty. So, there we go. That's just clarification. And you'll notice that I didn't show Scraptrap because of later things. So he's got them all here, and they wake up, they're attacking as usual. He, meanwhile, is set on basically just finding a way to free them. He would do the fire, but he didn't think that would work because it didn't work last time. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that the remnant actually burns off in fire, so he might have tried again if he had known that, but he wasn't aware of that. He's just thinking of any way to save them he can. Luckily, Henry shows up, and Henry does know about the remnants because he's kind of studied it at this point. So he knows that if he burns this place down with the animatronics locked inside, he can free everybody. And the flame didn't render here correctly, and I'm still upset about that, but I don't know why that happens. And I need to mention, actually I'll mention in just a sec. So these fans kind of explode and fire basically instantly spreads throughout the entire building and room very quickly. I know I did fire in Afton Part 5, but in Afton Part 6, this fire was the most challenging thing I've ever had to do in animation in my entire life. It was miserable, and it was a terrible time, and we had to re-render so much to try and get this fire to work. And ultimately, I think the result is okay, but man, it did not go well. Wow. Where is Michael's office? I mean, I guess this would be Michael's office. Why is Springtrap taller in Part 5 than Part 3? I don't really have an answer, to be honest. It's just different models. We decided the newer model looked better, the one that's bigger. And we couldn't really find a way to make, you know, William fit into a suit that was bigger. So the animatronics start attacking once again. He is able to subdue them pretty much all by himself because he's awesome. So what was supposed to happen here, we didn't unfortunately get the chance to add this effect, but the spray paint was going to actually explode on Molten Freddy, and because spray paint is flammable, it would catch fire, and that's why he would kind of explode in flames all of a sudden. But it's okay, I don't think it's too weird that he still caught flames. So the 3 souls climb out of him, which would be, you know, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Ballora. He's like, what the heck, what are these things? So he just gets out of there, and here's one thing to note. Okay, well, for number 1, this is the 3rd kind of soul we see in the series. So we had the ones with the tails in Part 3, and then in Parts 1, 2, and 5, we had the, like, spherical souls that flew around with all the particles. And now we just have these human-shaped glowing ones, because these were the best. So, for this video, the way I had it written, at least, and this isn't particularly clear, so I wouldn't be surprised if no one understood this, but you can, if you're alive, you cannot see the personality of the soul. You just see it as a, like, glowing thing. If you die, however, you can see that the soul is like, you can see who that soul is, and I'll explain more as we're going through. But he all he sees right now is just these human-like glowing figures, and that's terrifying to him, so he just runs away. And, you know, they fly away up to heaven.
One by one, you bring them back. Their south
Meanwhile, Lefty and Henry luckily run into each other.
attack. You set them loose.
Lefty gets so excited, he just, or she just, I guess, just runs over and kills them both, like, instantly in the fire. And it's terrible, they both die. So Henry pops out as a soul, and, you know, now that he is a soul, he can see that this is Charlotte. This is his daughter. If he was alive, he would not be able to tell. So they reunite. It's good to see. Obviously, he hasn't seen her for like 30 years at this point, because she got killed too soon. So this is a very, you know, this is not this is a really good thing for him. His whole goal was to free her, and finally he did it, even if he had to die for it. So these two are fighting now, or more like she's attacking him because she doesn't know any better. So here the soul pops out, and it's just, again, a white figure because Michael is alive. He cannot tell that this is Elizabeth. He just sees this white ghostish thing, and that's scary to him. And he doesn't know Scrap Baby is the same as Baby either because, you know, how could he know that? So right now he's just like, another thing is coming towards him, the soul finally reaches out and he's like, okay, I guess I'll touch hands with it to see. But then this flame pops up in between them and then he's like, okay, I'm not going to risk this. I don't know what you are. I'm going to leave. And as he leaves, it's revealed to us, the viewer, that that is like Elizabeth, but he doesn't know that. So, Springtrap, Scraptrap, his father, is now roaming the halls as we prepare for the final battle. This part, until the end of the video, is my favorite part in the entire Afton series. I think this climax is so cool and good, and I think it really wraps it up better than anything else in the series. I mean, it just is better than anything else in the series, to me at least. The ending, and it's very sweet, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I know that sounds narcissistic, and it is kind of, but I know people are curious what I think about each part of Afton, so that's my answer. He climbs above, and finally, we have the final fight, and I know this is going to make it a lot less dramatic because I'm going to be pausing during it, and I'm sorry, but it's just, it is what it is. So at this point, he finally realizes this is his father, because he's kind of having delusions, and it's because of this, it's sort of like taking him back to the old Circus Baby location simultaneously, where his sister was killed, and where, you know, was pretty much the last time he saw his father, because after that he, you know, died. So then we have this very interesting fight sequence, which it sounded like people either loved it or they hated it. I heard a lot of people just think this was super cool, and I also heard people say they thought it was really disorienting, so that's unfortunate, but I hope the people who did like it thought it was very cool. So this is also something I thought was cool. And this whole fight scene here, like part 6, I didn't mention this, but part 6 was like planned all the way back during part 1. I was starting to plan this one out. This has been in production the longest because I just had been thinking about it for so long, how I could wrap this up in the best way possible. And, you know, to most people, it seemed to be a very perfect ending to the series, which is great. So he has his spike, Scraptrap has his spike in this hand, so to replace that, whenever he's William Afton, he has the knife, because it's kind of like the same as the spike, it's the sharp object. So he runs at him, Michael grabs the knife / spike, rips it off of him, and then stabs him with it, which is, you know, again, the knife and the spike. Transition. Once again, I kind of wanted this to explode on him, making it more clear why he sort of starts on fire for a moment. But he kind of quickly extinguishes. It's just a little fire, you know. He's been on fire a lot before he can take it. Michael tries to bash his head in, but instead he gets slammed up against a wall and punched by his own father. It's terrible, while his father smiles. It's very creepy. And finally he pushes him off, and they're grabbing hold of each other, and the ceiling starts to give way. So, as it is, you know, William's like... Well, this is the point when William finally realizes that this is Michael, this is his son, he's not just fighting some random person. And he's like, I've done all this bad stuff, and you're just trying to stop me, you've been trying to fix everything. And so he finally is like, okay, I'll let you stop me. And so he does, and they both die. But while the soul of William probably does not go up, it probably goes down, and I didn't want to show it even though everybody asked me to. The soul of Michael flies out and gets to have a bit of time before going to heaven to reunite.
Your endless search for blood is finally done. You're in a labyrinth. I know it's hard to tell. It's all an illusion of sights and smells. Give up your souls. They don't belong to you. Let me save you now because our time is overdue. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return. Now it ends for all of us. Let the nightmares burn.
And they finally get their happy ending. I made sure to put the end, period, so people knew that this really is the end. I'm not going to... I have currently 0 plans to continue the Afton series in any way, shape, or form. So, I know while a lot of people love it, please do not count on an Afton Part 7 or an Afton Season 2 or anything like that. If that happens ever, it will be a long time in the future, and I would have to have a really good idea for me to commit to another one. But the Afton series itself, for what we have, I really enjoy it, and I think it turned out awesome. I'm very proud of it. So we go into the credits, and yeah, we had like 20 people work on this series as a whole, so it was a pretty big project for just this little, this little YouTube channel. And it was thanks to everybody's support that we were able to create this at all. This was a passion project for me. I wouldn't have, even though I do FNAF largely in part for you guys. This was still something I was very passionate about, and I wanted to do regardless. And I wouldn't have been able to do it if everybody hadn't supported it so hard and subscribed and viewed every video. So thank you everybody who did. I thought this was actually going to go a lot longer, so I might take like 20 minutes at the end here and just answer any questions that people have, maybe play a little bit of music. But, yeah. I don't have much else to say for the series. I've rated all parts. I said Afton Part 2 is my least favorite. And then, well, okay, 6th place would go to Part 2. 5th to Part 3. 4th to Part 5. 3rd to Part 4. 2nd place to Part 6. And 1st place to Part 1. And that is confusing. And this is not related, and I cropped it badly.
Big thanks to Hustle Castle for sponsoring this video and making it possible. Check out the game through the link in the description. Join the 3A clan and have fun.
And then we just have this. This is supposed to be the remnants of the building. This is the same sign you saw earlier in the video that Michael flipped over, and now it's here and it's just closed. Come back soon for other videos. So, as a whole, the series took us almost 2 years to make, which is a little bit ridiculous, considering it was only, 30 minutes in total, but I'm still very happy with how it turned out. I was glad I got to put the time in for it, and I'm glad everybody liked it so much. Now, I guess at this point, I will just answer questions for a long time, if anybody has any. So I'll just sit here for a little while, and maybe I'll play maybe I can find some music to put on. What should I play? I'll just go to a no copyright sound playlist. Which soul design did you like the most? Circle Ghost, Tail Ghost, or White Blocks? Or Glowing Blue People? I mean, I think they're all good in their own aspect. They all provide the proper tone, but I suppose as a whole, I think the last one's pretty cool looking. Whoa, there's so many questions all of a sudden. If you did Afton Series Part 2 would Help Wanted and beyond, I don't know. Like I said, I have literally no plans for it. Or I have barely even... I don't think I have thought about it. Will you make Afton movie reanimated? I don't think I have the strength to reanimate it. Oh boy, this is moving fast. Oh lord. Okay. Are you still going to do FNAF animations? Our next video is going to be a remake of an old FNAF video. I'm not going to say which one just yet. So that is the last FNAF video I have planned for quite some time. Why did you make Just an Attraction? That was actually made by Caleb, or Navilla Studio, our other director. So that was not mine. If you do more FNAF animations, can you make an Alex Afton animation like you said? Probably not, because then I'd be kind of continuing the Afton series, and I think I don't want to really touch on the Afton series at least too much more. Can you make the new FNAF books into an animation? I haven't read them, so probably not. Holy smokes, you guys, I can't answer all this. And we lost like 150 viewers when I said I was done, and it's just questions. Okay. Have you learned from animation since? Sometimes, yes. What is your favorite part? Part 1. Excuse me. Which is your favorite animation on your channel? The one that is coming out this week, the Undertale one. Please play the song I sent you. I will check it later. Hey, why is Springtrap and Scraptrap taller than the Spring Bonnie suit in Part 3? It's just a different rig. Oh my gosh. Isaac, can you please do a tutorial on how to make animations like you? I don't think I'm tutorial material, at least for something that intensive. You just have to practice really to get good. And I don't even think I'm that good yet. I still have a lot of practicing to do. What happened to Alex Afton? We only saw him in Part 1 and the hallucinations in Part 4. What happens, like, canonically in the series is up to your imagination, really. I don't have a true answer for you. Which one took the most amount of time to make? Most of the team to make? I'm not sure if you meant time or team, but the one that took the most people was Part 6. And the one that took the most amount of time was, I guess it was technically Part 5, Part 1, because I was still learning Maya at the time. So, are you going to do a FNAF Help Wanted animation? I don't have plans to, because I'm not really sure how to turn that game into an animation. Because it's mostly just rehashes old games, but, in VR form. Okay. Do you have any animation tips that would really help me out? Well, use offset. Don't always have keyframes all synced up together. And, the hardest skill to learn in animation is learning how to finish an animation. Once you do that, you can do a lot more. Do you have a dog, Isaac? Yes, I do. She is a chocolate lab, and her name is Ember, and she is adorable. How long did it take to make a project like this? The whole Afton movie took about a little less than 2 years. I guess not a little less, probably took a couple months less than 2 years, but yeah. Why did you become an animator and how did you learn? Well, I just wanted to animate because of other inspirations that I had at the time, and I learned by watching tutorials and then just practicing a lot. That's about it. Oh man. Why do you guys have so many questions? Holy smokes. I appreciate it though. I'm willing to answer them. Will you make a map of every place in Minecraft to play on? I don't think so. I'm not a very good builder. Who is Canon, Chris, or Alex? In my series, there's no one named Chris. In the FNAF series, I don't know what's canon. I know your animations are really good. Afton series, cool, your project. Thank you. Why does Elizabeth's soul have bandages? Her before she is seen in more detail? I'm not sure what you mean. Did you listen to the FNAF song Labyrinth? I've heard it. What's the source you use to make MC animations? What's the source you use to make MC animations? I use Autodesk Maya, if you're asking about the program. When is the next animation coming out? This week? It is hopefully tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. I don't know exactly. Bendy Gaming, I've already answered your question. What happened to Michael's brother? It is up to your imagination. Can you make a series on Minecraft lore? Maybe. I don't know. That'd be kind of risky, but who have you worked with the most? I guess Caleb, probably, because he's the other director on the channel. How old are you? I'm 17. what are your thoughts on cats? I am not a huge fan of cats, personally. I'm definitely a dog person. You will make a Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night animation? I don't think so, because there's not a lot of story potential there. What do you think of It's Me and It's Me Acoustic? I like them. Isaac, thanks for all. You're welcome. Why does Elizabeth's soul have bandages? I'm still not sure what that means. You can see that if you look back all over her before you see her in more detail. I don't think Elizabeth ever has bandages on it. I think it just might be a visual error. I don't think she actually has any bandages or anything. Bendy Gaming already answered your question. Hi Isaac, can you please say happy birthday to me because it's my birthday today? Happy birthday, I might pronounce this wrong. HK Gaming. Can you make a series dedicated to fan games? Probably not. What gave you the idea to make this video? I don't remember, honestly, but I just thought it would be cool. I remember I wanted it to be kind of like the finale to Five Nights at Freddy's videos on the channel, but I know there's still more Five Nights at Freddy's games coming out, so we'll see what happens. I thought Five Nights at Freddy's would be more dead by this time. Will you do Help Wanted animation? No plans for one. Can anyone get Michael Afton's skin and how? You can probably just find it online, honestly. How old are you? I'm 17. Okay, questions are kind of starting to repeat themselves now. Is there a part 2? I'm not sure what you mean. There's Afton part 2, obviously, which is It's Me. What do you have plans? We're going to make an Undertale video, and then we're going to make a remake to an old Five Nights at Freddy's video, and I'm not sure after that. A security breach animation? No, I do not have plans for that. Can you tell us your theory about Alex Afton? Well, there's just no theory. There's no correct answer. I didn't make one, honestly. Whatever happened to him is kind of up to your imagination. Are you rich? 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 A lot of people are asking, am I rich? That's kind of a private question. I'm not particularly rich. How many FNAF games have you played? I think I've played them all at some point, but... Do you think Michael might have survived the fire? No, he's dead. But that's good for him, because he wanted to be with his family. That was his whole life goal, to free them and be with him. Okay. Well, I think there's not a lot of questions coming at this point. Do you watch Dan TDM? I do not. Will you be making a continuation from the Afton movie? I will not. I have no plans to do that right now. Did you make Nightmare by Design? I did. What's the story of the new animation you're going to be releasing? You will have to wait and see, but it won't be bad. It won't be long, I mean. I don't know why I said bad. Is there anything you wish you could have changed about the Afton series? There's a lot I wish I could have changed, particularly with part 2. I wanted to redo the lighting for that video, and I want to kind of adjust the story to make more sense. There was some just writing changes mostly. Visually, I'm pretty happy with the majority of the series. Why is there white background fragment in the current scene? Oh, I just moved. I'm sorry. Do you play Roblox? I don't anymore. I did a long time ago. Is this going to be on YouTube after? Oh yeah. And I'm actually probably going to wrap it up now, but even though this was like an hour shorter than I thought it was going to be, I have plans to upload this on my personal channel afterwards. This will go on, as in it will go on the iSax channel, so you will be able to view it there if you want to. And yeah, I'm going to take it down from 3 display though, just because I don't want to clutter it up. I will stay for a little longer and answer some more questions. How would you rate your animations? That's a hard question to answer. Whoa, 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 whoa. People are spamming. Why is it moving so fast all of a sudden? Nobody was asking anything and now it's just going so fast. I can't read all these. Can you tell us what song you will be remaking? I will make a teaser on like Twitter or something in the future, but I'm not going to reveal it just yet. Where's Michael's mom? There's also no really answer for that. They could be divorced. She could be dead. Who knows? I think I'm going to wrap up the stream now, because it seems like people got through most of the questions about the actual series. So thank you everybody for tuning in who did. I don't know how many people stayed for the entire thing, but I assume a couple did. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys and talking about this series and just kind of talking about everything about it. You know, it's cool that some people are that interested that they would listen the whole time. So thank you everybody, and I will see you in a future stream.